so every 4 years an election is held. Often the person who was president before will run again. So we see, and the limit for being president is 8 years. So you could run, a presidential term is 4 years. So you could run for 2 terms and be president for that long, and you would not be able to run again. In the United States, a governor is the leader of an A, hemisphere, B, country, C, state, or D, city. We kind of just did that one.
Yeah, everybody should have their hand up. We just did that. The governor is the head of what? Marissa. Huh? The governor is the head of the leader of what? The hemisphere, country, state, or city? The governor. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Okay, so if we can review some of the levels of government, we have our cities. So who rules the city? Or who's in charge of the city?
Madison.
Mayor. Mayor, very good. We have the state. Who is in charge of the state?
Brittany. State.
Oh.
Lake State. Tyler. State.
Governor, very good. We have the country. Who's in charge of the country?
Marissa.
The president, very good. So the city, the mayor is in charge of the city, the governor is in charge of the state, and the president is in charge of the country. So if you think about that, then it's you can remember that of levels of government. To vote in a national election, a person must be a citizen of the United States and A, know how to read English, B, have lived in this country for 5 years, C, be at least 18 years old, or D, have a job. To vote in a national election, a person must be a citizen of the United States and, which of these? Know how to read English, have lived in the country for 5 years, be at least 18 years old, or have a job.
Mitchell.
C? C, be at least 18 years old. Very good. So if you think about it, that one's pretty easy. You can use the process of elimination here. A person, because if it was know how to read English, well, all of you and I know how to read English, so we could vote. And we can't vote, right? So that's not it. Have lived in this country for 5 years, so we all have probably lived in this country for at least 5 years. So that's not it either. But be at least 18 years old, if you think about it, is what keeps us from voting. So as soon as you turn 18, then you can vote, and that's really cool. A political party, this one's kind of a fun question. A political party can be described as a group of people who A, buy goods to sell them for a profit, B, make raw materials into finished goods, C, have similar ideas about how the government should be run, or D, are descended from a common ancestor.
Kara. C.
C, very good. Have similar ideas about how the government should be run. So there are 2 main parties, or major parties here in the United States, which are?
What are the 2 parties we talked about? Kyle? Constitutional party? No. The 2 parties, political party. Jordan?
Democratic. Yes, that's one.
Yeah. Madison?
Republican, very good. So when you hear people talking about the Democrats and the Republicans, then you know that these are 2 different political parties whose members have different views. Okay, so also another thing is that each of them have their own kind of emblem or a symbol, and the Republicans is an elephant, and the Democrats is a donkey, and so if you see those signs, you kind of know what that means too. Yeah, so it's interesting to think about political parties and what each of them stands for, and yeah. In a democratic country, the government is run by A, officials who are appointed for life, B, one person who gains power by force, C, the richest people, or D, leaders elected by the people.
B.
Not quite true. Keep in mind, in a democratic country, B, that you select is one person who gains power by force. Now, that would be not a democracy. If a person gains power by force, that would probably be a dictatorship. We see examples of people gaining power by force in history a lot of times, and also today. And in history, like for instance in South America, there were lots of take power in the government by force, maybe get overthrown, and somebody else will come in. So it was kind of a period of unrest for a little while. There are still some countries where the leaders are dictators. So that is not a democracy.
Okay, democratic country, the government is run by, Mitchell, what do you think? Officials who are appointed, the richest people are leaders elected by the people.
Oh, D, you said D? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Leaders elected by the people is the correct answer. So in a democratic country, we know that we elect the representatives make decisions, we elect the president, whereas officials who are appointed for life would be different. That would be people we didn't really have much control of. A person who gains power by force, we know would probably be a dictatorship. The richest people would be like an oligarchy, which means that one group of privileged or upper class or otherwise privileged people would be in control. But ours is leaders elected by the people for the people. What is the correct order of steps for a bill in New York State to become a state law?
Okay. We've gone over this. You see lots of answers. Okay?